Coming up on State of Events, a rise in car break-ins has led many San Francisco residents with broken windows and stolen items.
And a Bay Area high school is taking action to support gun control. State of Events begins now.
Welcome to State of Events. I'm Kelly DeLeon.
And I'm Gabby Gebhardt.
Students of Gun High School in Palo Alto had a rally Monday morning in support of gun control. Information about the protest was posted on a Facebook event page titled #NeverAgainGunHighSchool. The students received support from an activist group called the Raging Grannies, majority of whom were teachers at some point. Students and those who attended carried posters, sang songs, and chanted. One student sign read, "Give teachers more money, not more guns," in response to Trump's proposal about arming teachers. Students are not only fighting for gun control, but celebrities are supporting the cause as well. After the Stoneman Douglas High School shooting on February 14th, celebrities have been showing their support to the student survivors who are planning a march in Washington, D.C. to rally for action on gun control and school safety. Lauren G. has the story.
Thanks, Kelly. Some celebrities have been so touched by the student survivors who are uniting with one another to create change. To fund a $2.8 million march, George and Amal Clooney recognized the students' passion and donated $500,000. Clooney revealed in a statement saying, "Amal and I are so inspired and encouraged by the eloquence of these young men and women. Our family will be there on March 24th to stand side by side with this incredible generation of young people from all over the country. In the name of our children, Ella and Alexander, we're donating $500,000 to help pay for this groundbreaking event. Our children's lives depend on it." Not long after the Clooneys donated, Oprah, the Spielbergs, and the Katzenbergs all matched the $500,000 donation in support of the students. Many celebrities were also so inspired and tweeted their encouragement and thoughts, some saying that they were proud to stand side by side in love and appreciation. The NRA also tweeted a GIF. A drama sparked after the NRA tweeted a GIF of Leslie Knope to thank the NRA spokeswoman Dana Loesch after the town hall meeting on gun laws in Florida. Michael Schur, the co-creator of the show, asked the NRA to take down the GIF and said he preferred them not to use their character to promote their pro-slaughter agenda. Other cast members tweeted to take the GIF off, however, the NRA has not yet taken it down. Ellen also invited some students to promote the March for Our Lives in her show.
We are going to keep going. We encourage you to keep going, and all the young people out there, if you can't get to Washington, organize your own march in your own town and make your voices heard, because that's the way change is made, by your voices.
In the meantime, many more stars are promoting and helping the students rally for safer schools. The money will be sponsoring the victims of the shooting and helping to send youth across the United States to join in on the march in Washington, D.C. Back to you both at the desk.
Thanks, Lauren. And statistics show that a vehicle is broken into every 17 minutes. Reporter Tyler McKinney has the details on what regulators are doing to decrease the number of vehicle break-ins.
San Francisco District Attorney George Gascon recently announced that there will be new regulations put in place to combat city vehicle break-ins. Last year, San Francisco had nearly 30,000 reported auto burglaries. From January to November alone, there were roughly 85 thefts a day. This is one of the worst hit areas in the city, the Mission. According to police, offenders often use stolen vehicles or rental cars to make a quick getaway after breaking in and grabbing items that are often visible from the outside. And what happens next? The unlucky victim comes to an auto repair shop. Twin Brothers Auto Glass is located on 17th Street, just off of Mission. Longtime employee Simon Eddy says that some repairs are done more often than others.
Door glass, like I showed you, the door glasses, windshields, car alarms.
He gave me a crash course on what it takes for a thief to break into a vehicle. According to Simon, all they need is a vacant street, a spark plug, and a little force. And in seconds, your backseat window could go from this to this with little to no noise. Gascon's plan is to create a team that would look into the crime rings that are believed to be behind the thousands of reported break-ins. San Francisco authorities are hoping to reduce the number of auto break-ins by 20% by the end of 2018. But in the meantime, city officials are reminding drivers not to leave valuable items in their vehicles. In San Francisco, I'm Tyler McKinney, State of Events.
And San Francisco State residents are worrying about their cars and now about their safety. San Francisco State's on-campus housing has been hit several times with attempted burglaries within the past month. Now residents are questioning the campus's safety. State of Events reporter Sarah Sullivan has the story.
University Park North, or better known as UPN, is home to many SF State students living on campus. But the community has had 3 attempted burglaries within the past month. 2 at high-rise 285 Buckingham Way, and 1 at Garden Unit 415 Winston. Some suspects were even successful getting inside the apartments. Residents are now becoming fearful for their safety and their belongings.
I just think it's a little unsettling that people are able to get into our apartment complex and, are able to get into residents' apartments and, do whatever they wish without anyone ever seeing it.
UPN barely provides any security within the area. When I visited the housing area, I noticed many ways for strangers to easily enter. The interior door into the high-rise buildings stay open for about 15 seconds when a resident opens the door with their key. Garden units are easily accessible through the front entrances, and the Winston gate that separates UPN from Stonestown property is not secure. Call boxes are also nowhere to be seen. UPN only has a couple of community service officers who are in charge of securing the community late at night.
I definitely think that we do make a difference. With us patrolling out there and walking, we deter crime. The thing is, most of the crime that goes on is usually when we're not on duty or in the daytime. So CSOs like us, housing units, we come on at a certain time and we leave at a certain time.
UPD Chief of Police Jason Wu did not want to go on camera. However, he did tell me that UPD is working with Residential Life to increase security in UPN by adding more call boxes and hiring more CSOs. Residents will just have to remain patient, have good security practices, and remain hopeful. In San Francisco, I'm Sarah Sullivan for State of Events.
Thank you, Sarah. An unknown amount of people were detained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement throughout the weekend. Oakland's Mayor Libby Schaaf warned its residents on Saturday night that ICE may have plans to conduct an operation in the Bay Area. Few details about where and when these raids may take place were mentioned, except that they could happen within the next 24 hours. Schaaf's intent to warn residents, she said, was to protect them, not to panic them. On Monday morning, ICE spokesman James Schwab released a statement saying sanctuary cities and states are not immune to federal law. Coming up next on State of Events, stay tuned to see what all the fuss is about for a statue currently located in San Francisco.
And stay tuned to find out how your wine may be affected by the California drought. Our coverage continues. And welcome back. We are nearly 3 months into 2018 and still no heavy rainfall. How could this affect California in the long run? Verani Kunzerbong takes us to the Central Valley to show how some farmers prepare for the dry season.
California might be running dry again, but the Central Valley is prepared. Wineries like Abundance Farms in Lodi find other ways to get water for their crops.
We're here where all the rivers flow into the Sacramento River and on out to the ocean. So we have a lot more moisture. In other words, our water table's a lot higher.
February is pruning time for the grapes. Farmers walk to each and every cluster and remove remnants from the previous season. This helps next season's grapes grow. And while last week's frosty temperatures did not bother the grapes, other businesses' crops suffered.
I feel sorry for the cherry and almond growers because their trees are in bloom, and that's when they're sensitive to the frost.
There are still issues with less rain activity for the grapes.
As the weather warms, they'll start to wake up. They'll start growing, translocating fluids through their tissues. and that's when the moisture is necessary.
Now, rain is coming to the Central Valley this week, but we're going to need a lot more of it. And if temperatures continue to drop into the 30s and possible 20s, you might have to expect to pay more for those almonds and grapes. Reporting in Lodi, I'm Verani Kunzervong for State of Events.
Thanks for that update, Verani. And San Francisco Mayor Mark Farrell is opening up the doors to City Hall for the public. He wants to sit down and chat with residents about issues directly affecting them. Farrell feels in his role as mayor, he should be open to different viewpoints and get to the bottom of San Francisco's troubles, such as public health, the SFMTA, and the Ethics Commission. The first scheduled open door chat is this Friday. It begins at 8:30 a.m. and lasts until noon. Meetings are selected based on a lottery system. We will post a link on how you can join the conversation and get a chance to chat with the mayor on our website.
If you need a topic to talk to the mayor about, a statue in Civic Center may be your opportunity. The city of San Francisco has moved one step closer to removing a controversial statue in the Civic Center. State of Events reporter Jessica Mojene has the story for us.
This statue has caught the attention of many here in San Francisco. It's called Early Days, and it's part of a larger monument depicting the conquest of California. It shows a Native American man on the ground with a Spanish vaquero and a missionary standing over him. Eddie Samanego, a San Francisco resident, says the piece should not be displayed outside in public.
People make the argument that, like, oh, it's history and it should be displayed prominently, but I don't think it should be. It should be in a museum. Like, if it needs to be displayed with, like, context behind it.
This statue is offensive to many, and critics say it symbolizes genocide. All 7 members of the Historic Preservation Commission have voted to remove the statue.
Matt Miranda, who was visiting the statue after he heard about the vote to remove it, says he's happy about the decision.
San Francisco is no surprise that they would vote unanimously to remove it. I mean, it's just surprising that it took this long.
Interim Mayor Mark Farrell joined in efforts to remove the statue, honoring the request of the late Mayor Ed Lee. In a letter to the Historic Preservation Commission, Farrell wrote, "Before his passing, Mayor Ed Lee publicly called for the removal of the statue, and I am proud to carry this effort forward." The project will remove the Early Days component of the monument, which will be retained and preserved at an off-site storage facility. In San Francisco, I'm Jessica Mojenier for State of Events.
San Francisco supervisors Catherine Stefani and Malia Cohen are sponsoring a measure to have San Francisco celebrate both Indigenous Peoples Day and Italian American Heritage Day the second Monday in October. A few weeks ago, the supervisors voted 10-1 to switch Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day, but many of San Francisco's Italian Americans were upset. They felt they were losing a holiday that represented their heritage. For some Italian Americans, the new proposal still isn't good enough. The Coalition of Italian American Organizations is currently collecting signatures for the November elections to bring back Columbus Day. As of late last week, they had 6,500 of the 20,000 signatures they needed. Yesterday, Russian President Vladimir Putin called a daily truce on Ghouta bombardment on eastern Syria. How did it turn out? This one and more stories with Sarah Cabrizio.
Thank you. Sadly, the 5-hour daily truce called by Russia fails today in Syria. After a brief ceasefire, bombardments started again. Damascus and Moscow blamed rebels, saying that they shelled a safe route intended for civilians to leave the enclave. The area is being held by the rebels and is suffering one of the worst and more devastating air campaigns since the start of the war 7 years ago. The United Nations requests a 30-day ceasefire to evacuate civilians and send humanitarian aid. 5 hours is more than no hours, but we would like to see any process to be extended 30 days as Security Council has explained. We will try to do whatever we can in the time we have. Russia says that they will strive to maintain a human corridor. Hundreds of people have died since the beginning of the bombardment 10 days ago. And in Saudi Arabia, King Salman is making structural changes in government, shaking up the whole military structure. The king is elevating younger officials in key areas, such as military chief of staff or the heads of the ground and air force defense forces. Saudi Arabia is seeing major changes, with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, King Salman's son, pushing big economic and social reforms. The prince has the support of young people in a country where 51% of population is under 25 years old. Coming back to the US, the President Trump is hosting French President Emmanuel Macron on April 24th. The visit is expected to deepen the friendship between the two countries and advance American and French cooperation on economic and global issues. Macron and his wife will arrive to the US on April 23rd, on the first official state visit since Trump took office. And on a last note, this cute image was happening yesterday in Rome. Seminarians from American College fought a snowball fight against British College on St. Peter's Square after the Eternal City had woken up covered in snow for the first time in 6 years. Back to you girls at the desk.
Thank you for that update, Sarah. And next on State of Events, find out who is the next Giants pitcher and how the rest of our Bay Area teams are doing.
And find out which tiger is coming back to the San Francisco Zoo after being homesick. All this and more to come on State of Events.
And one Bay Area student is setting the bar high after receiving a perfect test score on a college-level exam. That's right, located in San Jose, Evergreen Valley High School student Tommy Tran is now part of an elite group made up of 6 individuals from around the globe to achieve a perfect score on the AP Calculus AB exam in May of 2017. AP tests are based on a 5-point scaling system. Scoring a 5 is like getting a 100% or an A on a test. All of us here at San Francisco State are proud of Tommy for his hard work and achievement. Way to go, Tommy, and way to represent the Bay Area. I don't know about you, but I think that it took Tommy a lot of study time to get that grade down. What do you think, Kelly?
I know math definitely isn't my thing.
Definitely, I know. And to be honest, if we could get 5 on a test, we probably would not be sitting here right now. So, way to go, Tommy. And students like Tommy will now have the chance to excel in school programs that Disney will provide. Disney is donating $1 million from its Black Panther earnings to boys and girls clubs around the country. One of those includes Oakland, and the money will be used to expand the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics problems, also known as STEM. These programs help youth learn about technology such as 3D printing, robotics, and video production. Disney CEO Robert Iger said in a press release, they hope to give students the knowledge and tools to build the future they want.
The Olympics are over, but let's see what's going on with our Bay Area sports teams. Britta Larson has the Bay Area Sports Roundup.
Surprise, surprise, the Giants have named ace Madison Bumgarner as their 2018 opening day starter. This will be the 5th consecutive year Bumgarner has been chosen to start opening day. The Oakland Athletics are hoping their young talent will help them be more competitive in the American League West after coming in 3rd place in their division and the last place in their division in the past 3 seasons. In other news, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, and Klay Thompson combined for 69 points when the Warriors played in New York last night and beat the Knicks 125-111. The Warriors are headed to D.C. today, but will not be visiting the White House as past champions have because they were disinvited by President Trump after Stephen Curry said, quote, "I don't want to go." They will reportedly visit with local kids instead, but no media will be allowed at the event. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Britta. One iconic diner in San Francisco is closing its doors after 70 years, but will reopen with a new addition after the anticipated renovation. Mel's Drive-In Diner, located at 140 South Van Ness Avenue, was the first location to open in the renowned chain. Headline News broke the story that a full bar is in the works. Mel's is currently waiting to obtain a Type 47 liquor license, which allows the sale of beer, wine, and spirits. A permit was filed with the city to allow the addition of a new 12-foot sign to mark the historic site. Jillian, the Sumatran tiger, returns home to the San Francisco Zoo. Jillian was transferred to the Sacramento Zoo a year ago and hoped she would live a better life there. But despite being fed her favorite treats and given ample toys, the 4-year-old tiger found it hard to adjust to her new surroundings. She was brought back to the San Francisco Zoo, and for now, she will remain quarantined. But zookeepers don't think it'll be long before she starts roaming around again. Sumatran tigers are endangered species, and it is believed only 500 at most exist.
Well, that's very exciting news to hear that the tiger is back and doing fine.
I can't wait to see her.
I think we need to take a trip to the zoo, don't you think?
I think so.
All right, guys. Well, that is all for State of Events, so tune in next week. We'll be right here.